Alright guys, we made some more tweaks to the damage rolls in the combat tracker. So my name is Damned and we're getting very, very close to the end of this series. Alright, so we've got our actor here, our agent here, Christoph, and he's going to fight with the security chief, and we're not going to do any attack rolls because we just want to see damage rolls play out. So firstly, Christoph is going to target the security chief, and the security chief is going to target Christoph. Right, as you can see, they both got targets. Security's targeting Christoph, and Christoph is targeting security chief. So for Christoph, when he attacks, he does it from his character sheet, of course. So we're just going to skip the attack roll and just do a damage roll. And we can see our security chief has 14 hit points. So we're going to do a couple of rolls here. Okay, so he does 6 damage. And he does 4 damage, so 10 damage. He's got 4 hit points left. Maybe we'll get lucky, we'll kill him this shot. Of course not. 1 hit point left. One more shot. Alright, so we had 1 hit point, and he is now... So the wounds mechanism just goes so that if the final shot will only do as many wounds as the target has hit points left, and security chief had 1 hit point left. He got hit for 7 damage, but it just takes 1 off in reality, but the security chief is killed as per the message down here. Now let's get a new security chief, because this guy was not up to the job, and he's got 12 hit points, and he is going to target Christoph, and he's got a Glock, does 1d8 damage. Now Christoph has got 7 hit points, no wounds. He takes 1 hit point damage, he takes 3 hit points damage, so he's down to 3 hit points. He's got 4 wounds. He's got 1 hit point left. Alright, so he should have taken 5 damage, but he only had 1 hit point left, so the wounds are up to 7. He is now unconscious and dying. Alright, but per the rules, he will not die, but he will take 1 point of damage per round, and until he's stabilized. And what we've also got here is if the security chief is very thorough and continues to attack him, he takes another point of damage. So now it'll take proper damage if he's still attacked. So he's now at -6 hit points, and he's now at -8 hit points. He's still dying, but as soon as he hits -10 hit points, Christoph is killed. So the combat damage there is working. I'm going to, for the damage, the 1 hit point damage that you take each time on your turn, I'm going to put a widget on here, just a drop of blood or something like that, just to do 1 point of damage on the actor. And that's it for the damage being applied from damage rolls. What we want to do now is look at the code for that. So this is all done in our manager roles in our damage roll that we started earlier. So the first thing I've done is I've added this line in here: if end damage is less than 1. So say you're doing attacking with a weapon 1d6 -1. If you're at 1, -1 is 0, but all successful attacks always do at least 1 point of damage. So if the damage total is less than 1, make the damage total equal to 1. So that was the first part. So then the next part I've done is here, if the target, so we collect the target's hit points, so target hit points is equal to, and we collect their hit points. So if the target hit points is greater than 1, and the damage is greater than or equal to 10 plus, okay, so if the target's hit points are less than 1, sorry, and the damage is greater than 10 minus his current hit points, or 10 plus his current hit points, which will basically tell us the maximum amount of damage he can take to get to minus 10. So if this happens, the target is killed. Now this will only happen on PCs, just because we'll see something in the next one. So if the target has less than 1 hit point, but this second part is not true, because if the second part was true, this would happen, and then that would end the if else statement. But if it goes down, and if the target has less than 1 hit point, when he takes damage, he is dying. So say he's at 0 or minus 1 hit points and he takes 4 points of damage, this would apply. Whereas if he was at minus 1 point of damage and he took 10 points, the first one would apply because it would go above minus 10 or below minus 10. So the message now is he's dying. Now the next one here is if the damage is greater than the target's hit points, then what will happen is the damage is adjusted down to equal the target's hit points, so that the target will go down to 0 hit points. And then if the target is a type NPC, we put the message out that the NPC is killed. If the target is type character sheet, then the target becomes unconscious and dying because he's gone down to 0 hit points now. And then we're applying the damage to the wounds field, and then we're also doing a sum on the hit points field. I tried to do this elsewhere in the templates and stuff, but I couldn't get it to work consistently between the PCs and the NPCs, so I'm just doing an out-of-band messaging to set both of those fields. And then we're also just reporting how much damage was applied. So that's the code that we're using to complete that sort of logic with the damage.